Meeting. All right, everybody. Super excited. Mark Frank Montoya here. We're going to be doing a quick LinkedIn training. And I wanted to get on here because Susan, the lightning bug Proctor, is just completely on fire. And I'm so proud to introduce her and be able to tell her story and watch her progress and watch her come out of her shell and just bust through this thing and go into mastery. It is insane. So, um, I'll tell my story real quick. I got into network marketing because I was a traditional business owner that was really busy, and it took me away from my kids. It took me away from my traveling, and so I had to look for this kind of financial freedom thing. Didn't do so hot in the beginning because I didn't have a lot of training and support, but I found the right people. Ended up catching some waves, and kind of the rest is history. That leads us to building teams and teaching a lot of people. And a person that's just super dear to my heart has come into the business, and I watched her grow. You came in at what, 18, 19 years old, Susan, and she was just a very shy girl, and but caught a vision. She loves the self development part of it and how the company gives back. And so she watched and as the company kind of keeps moving, and she just was showing up, showing up, showing up, learning every time we started to work together and develop. Um, and she has just caught fire, and now at an executive level. And I'm just so excited to have her on here. She originally just wanted to kind of show another friend what she was doing on LinkedIn because people were asking, right? But then she threw it on WhatsApp, and everybody's like, "Whoa, hey, and so I was like, "Wow, this is awesome," and uh, and so I'm excited to have you on here, Susan Lightning Bug Proctor. Will you kind of get on, tell your story first, and then do your training for all of us? This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, Marco. It's been crazy. Like 3 years ago, I started this, and I just started with the idea. I was attracted to the Nurse to Children program, how we feed starving kids around the world, because I wanted to do something more with my life than just working a job. So that's what attracted me. I had no idea like the personal development it would give me. It's so true. Like 3 years ago, like I could not even walk down the street and look someone in the face. I was like that shy, but now I'm like so much confidence and I could just talk to anyone and it's really, really amazing. So personal development is definitely like what I'm most passionate with this. But also I do it so that I'm a single mom so that my son can have the opportunities that he deserves in the world. Otherwise there would no way that I could make that happen. Um, so thanks so much, Marco, for your support with this. I'll go ahead and get into the training. So everyone can see my screen, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. So the first thing you want to make sure with LinkedIn is that you have a nice professional profile, like professional picture. And then you never want to put like New Skin or the company you're working for on the profile because then immediately if you connect with someone, they're going to be looking at your profile and they'll see it's New Skin and they'll immediately have those objections. So you want to put, what aspect you're most passionate about. For me, it's like leadership development and personal development. So I have self-employed at International Home Business, specializing in leadership development. And then down here, you can kind of put a summary of yourself. So I put like my main definite purpose statement because that really shows like who I am, and people have been messaging me just for that sometimes. And then you can put your skills, and then other people endorse you. Um, so yeah, and then I'll get right into it. So the first thing you want to do is start inviting people to connect with you. Then you can start messaging them. And so you can go up here. And then the easy way you can just go to people you may know. And then you can just start connecting that way. Just gives you people you have in common with your already connections. Yeah, and then you just press connect, and you can look at their profile also from here. A good way that I went about it, I wanted to find some people in Chile, so you can look for groups on here. Let me just let this finish loading. Marco, do you have anything to add so far?
No, but I want to check in with Chelsea or Adam if you can. I'm going to unmute you, Chelsea, and see if you is your screen freezing.
Yeah, I'm stuck on the initial fuse screen. I just see everybody like their kind of like profile pic or whatever is on
Yeah,
there. So
Susan, will try stop screen sharing and then do it again.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And while she's doing that, yes, I do have something to add. This what she's doing on LinkedIn. I mean, people are on there. This is like the, the business Facebook, right? The Facebook of business, and people are on there to network. And if they're actively on LinkedIn, that means they're looking for other ways to make money, right? They're always looking for uh, more ways to make more money, and they're serious about it. They're motivated. So when you're able to connect with them and help them uh, realize that they can use their existing skills but in a different vehicle, side project, not starting over from scratch, but just using their existing skills, they can put it in another business vehicle and just crush it, you know and they're praying probably every night for something better to come into their lives. And then Susan hits them up, right, connects with them, and there's the answer to that prayer. And that's truly what I believe. Is it? Mine's still blank.
Yep. Yeah, press the stop sharing. It's still thinking now. So,
Let me see. I'll do it too. All right, try it. Try it one more time. There we
yeah,
go.
how's everyone doing now? Can they see the
Good.
stream at all?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so this is an easy way you can connect with people. Just people you can just press to connect. Once they've accepted your invitation to connect, then you can go ahead and message them. And I just go ahead and straight away message them and send them an invite. And then a good way where I found a lot of, um, for instance, like people in Chile, you can search for groups. Like this is a group I'm in, All Chile. Then on here, once it comes up, you can just go to it'll say how many members there are. And you can go to the members area and just look through the members. If you hover over the name, it's going to show you, the industry they're in, what their skills are. That's the cool thing about LinkedIn. It's so professional. Like, people are on here just to find opportunities. So, even if someone responds back to a message and is not interested in what they're offering, they're going to be super professional about it. And, not like a lot of people on Facebook. So,
So I have a question, Susan.
yeah, sure.
Um, what goes through your mind? I mean, like, so do you go and connect with all kinds of people? Because I used to have this thing where I would like think of reasons why they might not be interested. If you even like, if your mind even goes into anything negative, you might stop, right, and not connect with everybody. Do you just kind of go through in there and click on connect with everybody, or do you look at their profile? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, when I was starting out, I would kind of just connect with everyone. It didn't matter. But I find I had a lot more retention if you connect with higher end professionals. Like, I've been targeting people in the marketing and advertising industry, because they kind of get what we're doing more. And in the sales industry and search industry, But for instance, for this group Chile, I'll just like connect with all of them because they're all in Chile, and if they're not interested, they'll know someone in Chile that will be interested. So, and on LinkedIn, I found I don't really have a lot of resistance about not messaging someone because, like on any social media, there's going to be a vast majority of people that you message and you're never going to hear from them, like ever. So, I think it's about, if you're good, it's about 2 in 10 people you message will message you back. So, even if you got that resistance, like most likely they're not going to message back anyways. Um, so again, it's like going through the numbers, like you always say, Marco.
All right. Surrender to the numbers. Like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can go to the members area. The computer's kind of taking a while, so I'm not gonna go to it. But if you go to the members area, you can hover over their names. It'll show what industry they're in, what skills they have, and it'll even show what opportunities they're looking for, which is pretty cool. So, and then from there, you can just press connect. If you hover over their name, and then when they connect back is when I send them an invite. Um, Let me bring up the invite that I usually send them. It's important to not say too much, but still like create curiosity and leave them kind of wanting more, of course. So the invite that I've been using is basically, hey, how are you? I came across your page while searching for professionals in the marketing advertising industry. I'm working with the founding family of a multi-billion-dollar anti-aging company that is launching a new technology into the marketplace, and we're looking for business partners to create a distribution channel for this technology into the marketplace for when it launches in October. And the media is already talking about it. It's on the cover of Vogue magazine. And whether we have another conversation about this or not, you will hear about this later. So let me know if this is something you're interested to learn more about. So like there at the end, it creates like that traction because like, oh, this is something that is so huge that I'm going to hear about it later. So I might as well talk to this person and learn about it first from them. So,
Hmm.
um,
Will
but yeah,
you hopefully everybody just take a screenshot of that, and have your own. I mean, I just want to make a point real quick. Just uh, Susan has dialed in her approach for a while. Like how long would you say you've been doing this?
I've been probably doing LinkedIn for at least a year. Like, so at first I was making a lot of mistakes, like having new skin on my profile was a big one, and then having, I just wasn't dialed in about the invite too, so I wouldn't have that much information as is here. So people would be like, "Well, what are you talking about?" You have to have some information to create the interest, but not like too much. So yeah, I've had to dial it in a lot. I finally kind of found an approach that's been getting a lot of traction, but definitely been a process.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that just kind of anchors in the point that if you show up, you go up, right? You've been showing up, learning how to approach, and then it took you a year or two to get into mastery. I mean, Susan's a master at connecting on social media, and then she did that through repetition and surrendering to the numbers. All the catchy phrases that they talk about in the trainings, she just did, and it's a proven system. If you stick in long enough, that's what happens in it. And so now you have business in Chile, and that is completely amazing.
Yeah, it is incredible just to know that like when I go to bed, someone's still working.
Right?
So that's really awesome. So
Cool. So well, and what are some of the other is so the one quick process, like, okay, go in, do a search, do it over real quick for us.
okay, yeah, sure. So let's see. We can go like marketing. You spell it right?
Just because there's a lag on it, so we can kind of walk everybody through the process. So you're in the search. It's not
Yeah,
showing,
for sure.
but you're in the search box.
So since I typed in marketing, I'm just gonna click on American Marketing Association. There's this group that's got a lot of people in it. Yeah, and then it'll just have like people you can connect with on here, and you can go to see all. Let's see, wait for this to come up.
While that's waiting, how many hours or like how much time do you put
But
into?
basically, you're on doing and just the people, and then get their profiles to here and see like she's under Link to Fitness, which she's some kind of in your advice and mention something about fitness, so you can just connect directly on here, depending on who you're targeting exactly, and look
Sorry,
at
it's cutting out just a
what
bit.
their skills are. What like this person, person's in, so I'll invite them to connect, and then once I get that invitation, then I just submit an invite. Depending on the field, it'll vary a little bit. If they respond and they're not, what I always keep the door open just to ask them if it's alright next month, just to know what's going on, where they're at, which helps because a lot of people like what I would just be like, okay, but that's where you can't really follow up, or it's just because they're like, what do you want me, so that just keeps the door open. The beautiful.
Susan,
You do
can,
trust since you don't really have a relationship with them.
Susan, it's cutting
So
out.
I'm sure Coke can that, huh?
It's cutting out. I think we should get you to call
Hey
in.
there, Marky.
Yeah, but it's cutting out really bad.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to call back in then?
Yeah, can you call in with the phone? Okay. In the meantime, let's see. I'm gonna make sure she has that info. In the meantime, guys, when you're connecting, this is just I just want everybody to know you don't have to use LinkedIn. It's a one platform, same, but it's the same kind of rules apply. Facebook is a little more mellow on a friendly base. On LinkedIn, it's very, very professional. And you want to kind of make your profile very professional, and then maybe in the biography, kind of give your story, right? Make it kind of short and to the point, but with feeling. And then with LinkedIn, people they have a high sales filter, so they kind of know if you're just kind of copying and pasting. So just make sure to think if you're going to use this process, make sure to stop and check in with yourself and think about, would this attract me? Would I be curious? Right? Do I want to be approached this way? Would I want to be approached this way? And so when you're talking to people, what I always do is check check their profile out, really care about them. And actually, people are scared after they've put a bunch of investment of time and money into their profession. And, they're thinking, man, is this person going to try to get me to start all over from scratch? And we want to make sure and that they know, no, not at all. It's using your existing skills that you already possess, but just on a side project that wouldn't interfere with what you're doing currently. It's really in your spare time, right? And so when you're looking at their profile, you can sit there and say, hey, I noticed you're already in marketing, or you're already in the beauty world, or you are already into fitness, and you have passion there. So that's why I'm kind of getting in touch with you. You may have interest, and and then you can go from there, right? To really just, you're not just going for anybody, you're specifically going for them. And that way, if you do your numbers, you don't have to be attached to whether anybody does it or not. Just hit your numbers and go through that, right? That'll create really good posture and energy. Because the way that I can have good posture and energy is if I'm just working hard and I don't even have enough time to get to everybody. That means I'm not attached to them, and because they can feel it if you're attached, if you're trying too hard. You have to care, but not that much, kind of deal, right? So, Susan, are you in there? Oh, let me see. Let me make sure. Unmute. Okay, there, Susan.
Hey, Marco, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I called it on my phone now.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So, I'm not sure what you guys last heard. Where do you want me to start with, Marco?
So basically, a quick rundown of the process. The whole process until sign up.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, first you want to invite them to connect. You can go to the groups or just people you may know. And then, second, once they've connected with you, you send them an invite based on the industry. I heard a little bit of what Marco was saying before about seeing what they're interested. Hey, I see industry, fitness industry. Definitely good.
Oh no. Oh no, it's cutting.
They usually always say yes to that. Because if they're on here, they're open to things, even if they're not necessarily interested in what you have. So they're open to hearing about updates. So yeah, and if they respond and want to hear more, since you don't have normally a relationship with the people you're talking with on here, what you want to do is create some posture. So I always say when they respond with interest, I'm actually just walking into a meeting, but I promise to give you more information later today. Um, and then that creates that posture that they're like, oh, you're a busy person who has meetings and everything. So they respect you, and then when you do respond in a couple hours with more information, they'll say, oh, they're a person of their word. So that creates that trust with you already, even though they don't really know you. And then, I always send them a message asking if later today or tomorrow would be better for a 20-minute phone conversation. I always get them to commit to a phone conversation or Skype if they're out of the country before I send them any information. That way they're already committed to something. And then I send them the information. I always say, to be respectful of your time, if I send you a couple links that take about 20 minutes to watch, would you be able to watch them before we talk? And they usually always say yes about that. And that creates trust too, because you're saying you're being respectful. You can look at information already before you talk, so it creates the most value for your time. So you can just answer questions when you talk. And then you send them the links. I usually ask if they prefer email or text. And then I just send them a confirmation text a couple, like 30 minutes before the call, just to make sure we're still good and everything, to be valuable for their time. And then you get on the three-way. I usually get, Upway, Marco, or Mari to be on the three-way answering questions, kind of normal three-way. And then after that, it's just normal follow-up process like you would with anything else.
So just to, some of the big things that I caught right there were your confirmation 30 minutes before. That's a big one, right? That's
Right.
something you had to dial in over time. If it's a couple days out, I would confirm one day before, and then, like she said, 30 minutes before. That way she can, if they cancel, she's letting me know in advance and trying to fill that spot, right? Because if you get your upline on the phone, they blocked out that time. You want to make sure and fill that, do whatever it takes as best you can to fill that spot because they've already blocked out that time, right? And that's what you would want your team to do later with you. And then the other big thing that I caught that you said was will you repeat that again? If I send you this links, will you make sure and watch it and then write down questions? Is that right?
Yeah. So what I said first, you want to say, to create the most value for your and my time. If I send you a couple links, that take about 20 minutes to watch, you'll be able to watch them before we talk. That way you've already seen the information, and we can just have a conversation about answering questions.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
to create the most value for your time and my time. Love it. So cool. Okay,
Awesome.
great. That was awesome, Susan.
Thanks so much.
So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute some people. If anybody has questions for Susan, maybe I can unmute. I don't know if I should unmute everybody. It'll get kind of crazy. We'll see. But raise your hand or throw a chat. If you have questions, I'll unmute you. I'm gonna start unmuting. So, okay. Anybody have questions?
Tilston. So
Yes. This is
Okay.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Hey. So when you are searching for groups and or types of people, I wrote down a few that came to mind, but what are the biggest ones that you search for? Like, I know you typed in marketing, but do you get any more specific about that, or what kind of other groups of people do you look for?
Yeah, I mean, marketing's the biggest one for me because that's what I've went to recently, and I've like everyone that I get on the phone about marketing's really been getting like the HLF me opportunity because they get the marketing side of it.
Okay.
So, other than that though, I mean, I know for instance, Chelsea, you've been like targeting like network marketing professionals. So that's definitely something you can search. And then like this you can put fitness, beauty. I like to put like something more broad like marketing. That way you come up with a group that has like a lot of marketing professionals in it. And you can just go through the members in there and see specifically what marketing they do. You can do like I've been doing like social media marketing. Those are people who are already doing online marketing for like a company. So they like almost already do what we do. So you can get definitely more specific about that, but I do more broad so that you can get groups of people that are a lot of people that you can just go through. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, cool. And
Would you ever go ahead?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was also thinking, would you ever look at like a technology group, like people who are into technology, and send them the Age Lock Me as well?
Yeah, I actually have groups as well that are just about like information technology and just innovation and just new technologies. And definitely I talk to them as well.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
And then we have a question with the first message that you sent the first time, and I think that might have been answered, but that's the right there that you have up on the screen, right, Susan? Hi, how are you? I came across your page.
Yeah. Is that where you guys are seeing on the screen?
Yeah. So just in case anybody doesn't see it, you can change it for yourself. But yeah, it's big. I came across your page. I noticed you do this, this, and this, right? So it's
Yeah.
already in alignment with what they're doing. Then you kind of position with what you're doing, creating curiosity, but not selling. So if you kind of say too much, like, oh, and just there's like a thin line, right? Don't say too much, but if you satisfy their curiosity, they don't have to show up, right? Because they might think, oh, I already know what it is. I'm not interested. But if you just make them curious based on what they do already, and then this is real close to it, and there's a ton of money on the table, and it's a side project that would not interfere with what they're doing currently, they can get them on there, right? And
Yep,
asking their
exactly.
permission. That key on the bottom that you put, Susan, is awesome. Is this something you would like to learn more about? It's kind of like really polite, not invading their space, and getting their permission to send a link. When I send these, I always say, would you like me to send a link? And then they say, yeah.
Yep, exactly, Marco. You hit head on the nail there, on the head.
Awesome. Okay, and then one more. Let's see. I already have a professional profile for my full-time job. Is it possible to create another? What would you say to that, Suze?
You probably could. I have honestly not. This is the only profile I have on LinkedIn, so I've never tried that. But you probably could. It would be my guess. I would say try it.
And you know what I would say too is that yeah, I have only one profile, but I did change my profile to reposition, and this is in person and on social media. You might want to reposition, like my auntie just knows me as little pissy diapers Marco, right? So I'm not positioned with her. So I don't have the credibility or the authority of the subject. So in order to reposition and gain authority of the subject or credibility, I say, hey, hey, auntie, I know you've known me as like the snowboarder guy, and you've known me a while, but did you know what I've been doing the last 10 years as far as speaking on health and building businesses? No, not really. Yeah, so you can kind of tell your story and reposition, right? So that's what you want to do with your profile on LinkedIn or all the other ones. Put your game face on, get serious. Don't do any negative stuff. Put a nice professional picture, and but you want to tell your story. Maybe as far as like what you've done, good positioning, a resume type thing, but then add a little, some personal touch so they get to know you and know your pain and why you're doing what you're doing. You have, you weren't happy, you weren't satisfied, and you found the solution, and you're very excited on, helping other people and doing that kind of stuff. So that creates more of a curiosity and an attraction kind of situation. So you just keep your profile if you want. You can do another one totally separate. So awesome. Well, that was amazing, Susan. Thank you so much. You've just grown like crazy and mastered this whole thing. Got rid of the fears. It sounds to me like you don't really care. You're not attached, and you just kind of connect with them, and do your numbers. How many hours a day, real quick, do you put in to this strategy?
Just specifically, so right now on LinkedIn, there's a limit to how many invitations to connect with people you can put. It's like 8,000 or 10,000 or something. So I've actually reached that limit, so I don't actually like actively connect with people anymore. I just wait for people to connect with me and send like messages out. But when I was doing this, like actively doing it, I would do at least like 3 to 4 hours a day just on here and doing it and just sending messages out.
Awesome. So cool. So after you're kind of established in there, then everybody's trying to connect with you, especially with your story, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're positioned. Woohoo! All
Yeah.
right. Well, any last words from the lightning bug?
No, that's it. I would say no. All good. Just go for it and don't care about the numbers. Just go for it, Just hit the numbers and then you'll get there. That's how I got executive. Woo!
Congrats, Susan. Okay, everybody. Hope that was valuable. Have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Susan and Marco. That was awesome.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Time to hit those numbers.